Recently, I was on a sales call for a coaching group I joined for my speaking career. And as I was talking to this coach, I said something I've never said before. When I was referring to my goals and dreams, I said, I am hungry. And I truly mean that. I'm at a stage in my life where I can literally taste it. I want this dream so bad. So many parts of my vision. It's this visceral desire, this hunger inside of me. Like it's there. I can taste it. I can feel it. And I've wanted a lot of things in my life since I was 3 years old. It's been over 40 years of desire. And I've never used that term before of being hungry for something. And I was reflecting upon how that's different from the idea of like, yeah, that sounds nice. I like that. I hope this happens someday. That would be a nice thing to have. But that's not where I am. I'm hungry. I'm hungry to become an internationally renowned motivational speaker. I'm hungry for my dream life, for expansion, for that next version of myself. And something about saying that word, it just really hit me where I am because there's a big difference between wanting something and being hungry for it. It's like something deeply passionate in me, something deep inside of me said, this is not optional. This is happening. We are going to pursue this like we're going to pursue our last meal, like we have a need for it. And I started wondering, what actually changes when desire turns into hunger? You are here for a reason, but navigating this human life can be challenging. How do you care for your body, mind, and spirit to make the most of your time here on Earth? How can you harness your incredible human potential? In this podcast, we explore these questions and more to help you craft your best life yet. Welcome to I Am Human. So, wanting often sounds like maybe someday, if it works out, if it's convenient, it would be nice to have that. But wanting lives comfortably beside excuses. It negotiates. It stays abstract. It doesn't feel fully formed. It doesn't feel like it's just right there for us to take it. It feels like it's so far and distant and fuzzy and not well formed. And there's nothing wrong with wanting, but wanting doesn't always move us. It doesn't inspire us to take action and to take the level and the speed of action that might be required to allow what we want to materialize. Hunger is different. Just think about it. Have you ever had a time in your life where you really were very hungry? Do you remember the level of motivation that you had to acquire food? Like it is all you can think about. You become obsessed. You know you need it. You know you want it. And you're going to continue to pursue it until you get it. And you are very clear about the outcome. Get the food, solve the hunger. Hunger rearranges your life. When you're hungry, you're going to keep searching. You're going to keep learning. You're going to keep adapting and showing up even when it's uncomfortable. It's actually an evolutionary advantage. One of the things I've learned from fasting is that when you're truly hungry, you're ready to eat. you have high motivation and you actually get a surge of energy. You are on the hunt in pursuit of your next meal. And that's an evolutionary advantage. It mobilizes us because otherwise we're just going to lay there and just die, you know? So hunger allows us to keep showing up and to keep going even when we're experiencing discomfort because it's almost like an internal need. It changes. It's not just something that would be nice. It now becomes something that we need. And internally, the decision already feels like it's been made. It's not, should I do this? It becomes, how do I get there? How do I get this? And that's a completely different energy. It's a completely different strategy. Now, I want to say that in my case, it's not so much desperation, although I will say that I'm not a patient person. So when I have decided what I want it yesterday. I've been like that my whole life. I'm learning how to balance it. I'm learning how to be more patient and to enjoy the pursuit, to enjoy the hunt, which I do. But it doesn't have to be desperation. It doesn't have to be exasperation. It doesn't have to be an unhealthy attachment. And you don't have to feel panicked when you're hungry. You don't have to feel like it becomes your only identity. If you don't get the thing, that you're not going to be worth anything, that you're going to be worthless. It doesn't have to be tied to your worth. But for me, at least, it does feel something that is coming from deep inside me, something that I'm deeply called to do. So one is more of a fear reaction, and another one is more of a yearning, of a life force. But the other thing that I think is important in what I'm feeling right now and what I think is different from before, something that has allowed me to get to the hunger stage that I've never reached before in my life is faith. And I remember praying to God on my knees when I was a child, asking God to please help me in school. Please help me on my tests. Please help me get good grades because I wanted to be a doctor and I wanted to help people. And it wasn't that same feeling of hunger that I have now. It was actually more of a desperation because I felt unsure if it was possible for me, even though I had a lot of support. But now I feel like I have faith that this is going to be a fruitful journey, that this is going to be a fruitful pursuit. Isn't that a great use of words? Because fruit is a food. So if we secretly don't believe that we can actually have the thing that we desire, I think we're going to suppress that desire. So our desires stay kind of soft and safe and manageable because we have this fear that it's not going to happen. So maybe it's kind of like a protection against disappointment. But once something starts to feel possible, it unleashes something. It just like breaks it open. And suddenly you're like, all right, well, then let's go get it. What are we waiting for? Let's do this thing, right? It activates you, it inspires you, it unleashes your energy, your attention sharpens, your commitment deepens, and your willingness to put in the hard work, to stay focused, it changes because now it feels real. Now it feels like it's right there. It's just ready for you to come up and take it. It's yours. And that's part of why I think I feel so hungry right now, because I genuinely believe that this dream is possible and I'm ready for it. I'm ready. This is next level Yami. She's ready for the next version, the next part of her journey, the next part of her dream. I feel like I'm standing on the precipice of something. And when you believe the thing is actually available to you, your energy changes. So, as I was reflecting on this, I realized something else. I talked about my journey, my evolution with my body, and how that's been changing for me over time. Well, one of the struggles I've had since I was in the single digits is emotional eating, partly because I learned how to diet when I was young, started restriction, binging, but also I think it's just part of my genetic structure. I was a latchkey kid. I just started to develop those habits. So I've struggled with that for a long time. Having strong emotions and just feeling like I had no choice but to eat, but to numb my emotions with food. But over the past couple of years, this is something that I've been able to improve through different habits and behaviors and strategies. And I just really didn't want to have that habit anymore. I didn't want that to be my identity anymore. I just didn't want that to be part of my story. And it's not something that changed overnight. And I still struggle with it, y'all. I'm telling you, last week, my seminar didn't go as well as I wanted it to. And I started having all this uncertainty. And uncertainty is the most uncomfortable emotion for me. I hate it. All right. Like, I love knowing that something is one way or the other. Just give me certainty. And that night, feeling that uncertainty, I started having those little inklings of like, yeah, I can just go home and just eat a bunch of food and numb it down and feel better because it works. But to be honest, I just haven't been engaging in that as much. And most of the time, except for when I have these extreme emotions where it's normal, I am actively growing two businesses. I'm working hard. It's normal to have some emotional ups and downs. Besides that, I'm just not an emotional eater anymore. And so I was reflecting on this and thought, well, isn't that interesting? For the first time in my life, I have used the word hunger to describe something that doesn't have to do with food, something that I want for my future, while at the same time, I have been not feeding my emotions with food. I have been engaging less and less and less frequently in emotional eating, that emotional hunger. And for so many years, that feeling of emotional hunger, it felt like a bottomless pit where I could never get enough food. I could never be satiated. I could never feel satisfied. But as I've dedicated less energy to emotional eating, I've been engaging in it less. I have had more energy available for my actual goals and dreams. So, what if hunger itself was never the problem? What if the issue was where the hunger was being directed to? Because I think as humans, especially people with my type of personality, we need somewhere for our energy to go. I need somewhere for my life force to go. If it's not going towards productive pursuits, it's going to other things. I have a lot. I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of motivation. I had a lot of drive. So that motivation can either go to binge eating or it can go to building a life of my dreams, to getting exactly what I want, to crafting this amazing vision that I have. But if we disconnect ourselves from our purpose, our meaning, our creativity, our expression, our expansion, our joys, our desires, that energy can turn into consumption. And I know I'm not the only one. This is literally what's happening in the United States of America, whether it's food or alcohol or doom scrolling, shopping, anything to temporarily fill that void, that hunger. Where is your hunger being directed to? Are you directing it towards what's going to fuel you and feed you and create the life of your dreams? Or are you filling that hunger with methods to numb yourself, to not have to think about what you truly want, to block those desires? So I feel like the same energy is being redirected towards creating the life I actually want. And to me, that feels healthy. I feel alive. I feel like I'm stepping into my authenticity, like I am allowing myself to walk in the direction that I was meant to walk. So maybe I wasn't starving for food. Maybe I was starving for aliveness and expansion and expression and purpose and becoming. And this has really changed everything. Many people are unknowingly suppressing themselves. They're suppressing their dreams, their desires, their creativity, their truth, and their expression. And that suppression creates tension. And then we try to soothe the tension instead of listening to it, instead of allowing. Emotional eating isn't just about food. In fact, most of the time, it's not about the food itself. It can be about grief, exhaustion, loneliness, or an unlived life. And that doesn't mean that every craving is spiritual, but I do think that some forms of emotional hunger are deeper signals asking us to pay attention. So maybe hunger isn't something to fear, and I'm experiencing hunger in a whole different way this phase of my life. Maybe hunger is just information. Maybe some desires refuse to leave us alone because they were never meant to remain ideas. They were never meant to stay abstract and unformed. They were meant to become fully embodied, manifested realities. And the moment you become truly hungry is the moment you stop waiting for permission. The question isn't, what do you want? The deeper question is, what are you hungry for? And where is that hunger energy currently going? Is it being numbed or suppressed or distracted? Or are you finally allowing yourself to direct it towards the life you actually desire? The goal isn't to eliminate hunger. The goal is to learn how to feed yourself differently. My name is Yami, and I am human. Thank you for listening to another episode of I Am Human. I would be so honored if you subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode. We love our listeners and take your feedback seriously. If you have questions or constructive feedback, you can email us at podcast@dryami.com. That's podcast@doctoryami.com. I am your host, Dr. Yami Cazorla-Lancaster. I Am Human is produced by myself and Alejandra Parra. Graphics designed by Alejandra Parra. Music by Angela Soph with Glowbox Productions. Remember, human, you are here for a reason. Have fun, explore, and live your life to the fullest.